Saving money and investing money are entirely different things, with different purposes and different roles in your financial strategy. Saving money involves setting funds aside in safe, liquid accounts. Investing involves buying an asset like stocks in hopes of earning a return. While the COVID-19 pandemic and unnecessary lockdowns, the decision of whether to save or invest is even more complicated now than it ever has been. Today, in this video, we'll dive into the pros and cons of saving as well as investing to give you a better idea of what you should do, save or invest. Pros of saving money in these uncertain times. One of the best ways to feel a bit more in control is by saving money. Building up a stash of cash can give us choices when we feel like everything else is falling apart. At the very least, it can help us feel a little less anxious about one very important element of our lives. Saving money right now also allows you more choices later on, as it gives you a backup plan in case you need one. As places and activities shut down around us due to COVID-19 and the overblown reactions of local and federal governments, we are presented with a multifaceted opportunity. Fewer things to do gives us fewer things to spend our money on. Our behavior is often dictated by our environment, and shopping is one of those behaviors. COVID-19 has changed our environment, and for those with out-of-control spending habits, this could be a great opportunity to switch your behavior to the more frugal side. Instead of shopping, read a book, listen to a podcast, or catch up on that Netflix show you've been meaning to see. Rather than going out to eat, cook for your family. To replace the gym and fitness classes, take a walk around the neighborhood, visit a park, or go for a run. All of these behaviors will help you develop good habits, whether there's a pandemic or not, perhaps except for Netflix. But hey, a little distraction won't hurt you in these times. Focusing on these free activities or somewhat low-cost activities, such as Netflix, will not only help you now, but also in the future as you develop lasting habits that will make you happier, healthier, and wealthier down the road. By breaking your shopping habits now, you can realize that happiness doesn't have to come from swiping your credit card. Lasting happiness comes from pursuing your purpose, learning, exercising, appreciating your loved ones, and enjoying art. Cons of saving money during these uncertain times. Low interest rates. Savings accounts have a notoriously low interest payout. Some banks pay saving accounts as little as 0.01% per year. That means if you have $100, you'll get 1 penny every year. That's basically nothing. Higher-end saving accounts, called high-yield savings accounts, are a bit better than that. These accounts change rates depending on the current rates available to banks from the Fed, that is, the Central Bank of the U.S. For example, 0.5% is a common interest rate in 2021, but just a couple of years ago, they were as high as 2%. It just depends on the current rate. But as far as interest on money saved, you'll get nothing. You lose to inflation. Not only is the money you get paid back low, but you also get hit by the second punch of inflation. Inflation is a money losing value over time, usually due to more money being put into circulation. 2 years ago, we saw an average of about 2.3% inflation every year. So if your money was not making more than 3% in interest, you were not making any money. Of course, that was before COVID and the new administration, under which we have seen a 5.4% jump in the inflation rate in the last 8 months alone. For comparison, the inflation rate was up only 1.4% for the entirety of 2020. If you're only a saver, you're losing money in the long run. Now that we have looked at the pros and cons of saving money, let's dive right into investing money and the advantages and disadvantages of doing so during this uncertain time in human history. Is investing in a global pandemic smart? The first thing that matters is how much cash you have in hand. Suppose you are cash deficient and do not have enough savings to get you through for at least the next 3 months. Then you may want to refrain from the thought of investing. But if you have a steady flow of income and a stash of emergency funds kept aside for your needs, then it may be the best time for you to start investing. Pros of investing now. Getting in low. With lockdowns once again happening in some parts of the world, most businesses will have to hit the pause button. This will bring down the economic activity of any country, driving the markets down. While it may sound like bad news, a dip in the market means a fall in prices. When you invest when the market is down, there are more chances of profitability in the future. More time for due diligence. Being stuck at home may not leave you with many options to keep yourself occupied. With much less travel time, you might have more free time than before. You could take advantage of it to do a thorough analysis of the assets you wish to invest in. Better research equips you with knowledge of the market and the asset class, which assists you to make better investment decisions. Alternative investment strategies are booming. Alternative assets generally provide a hedge against economic crisis since their performance is non-correlated to the traditional markets. Recently, cryptocurrencies have risen to be the most popular alternative asset class among Indian investors. Despite being just a decade old, the crypto market has grown exponentially and is currently valued at nearly $2 trillion. The 2020 lockdown brought about a fresh boost to the crypto market in India. With lockdowns being implemented across the country once again, it is safe to speculate that the crypto market is poised for another run. Cons of investing now. Not a good time for hobbyists. Many millennials got their feet wet in the stock market with stock-picking platforms like Robinhood or eToro. They're used to the idea of choosing what they buy. According to data from investing software company Aetna, about 72% of millennials describe their investment strategy as self-directed, where they pick their investments. But right now, experts say that's a dangerous method. Here's what financial advisor Howard Hook had to say to Business Insider back in May. Quote, "We're not market timers. We're doing long-term buy and hold. We would never recommend clients to get into the market now as an opportunity. It's just not the way we manage money and financial planning." End quote. Now isn't a time for firing up a brokerage app, buying individual stocks in companies you think will boom after coronavirus ends, or trying to snatch up shares of pharmaceutical companies with hopes of cashing in on a cure. In short, that strategy won't end well. Volatility. While stocks are often viewed as a safe investment strategy in the long term, nothing is guaranteed. In the best of times, the stock market is volatile, especially in the short term. If you're looking to invest your money in the short term, there are usually much more reliable, low-risk investment strategies available. The stock market has historically grown at an average rate of about 7% per year. From year to year, however, the stock market can experience dramatic highs and lows, which have been even more extreme over the past 2 years. Even over a long period, a retirement on an investment in the stock market is never guaranteed. Investors should be cautious when it comes to investing in the stock market and understand that nothing is a sure bet during the crazy times we are all currently experiencing. Should you invest or save? Having the safety net of savings makes financial sense no matter your current situation. It's important to have an emergency fund if you ever lose your job, and you'll likely need cash to make a down payment on your first home or to achieve other milestones. Because the current situation in the world is so uncertain, you'd be stupid not to put back something to hedge yourself and your family just in case things get worse. That being said, at some point, once you have stockpiled enough cash, you should start reallocating some savings to invest if you want to maximize the amount of money you can earn, whether it's for building your wealth or planning for long-term goals like retirement. At the end of the day, it's about balance and knowing your limitations. Take the time to do the research and set goals. Then do whatever it takes to reach them. Now you have guidelines to figure out if you should save or invest.